Final feelings as it's closing in here now on Georgia and Mizzou. I just find it really hard to believe Missouri's got the ability to win this game. Having watched enough of them, whether it's the Kansas State game, the Auburn game, they're just not. There's just nothing scary on the offensive side of the ball. They're ranked. Have about 400 yards rushing a game. Um, that's not, excuse me, rushing. That would be pretty impressive. Total offense is 400 yards. Rushing is not horrible at 185. They're pretty balanced at 185 and 209. But man, if you just watch them play, they're just not crisp. They're not where you want to be, and not scoring 20 points against Auburn, not 20, scoring 20 points against Kansas State. I mean, these are not programs that are world beaters in terms of defensive, in terms of what they can do defensively. K-State is not even in the top 40 on the defensive side of the ball. So I, I just I'm not impressed with what I've seen from Missouri, and Georgia's going to have to really go over there and not play well in order to not win this game. I just don't see it. And there's a lot of stuff that Georgia needs to clean up, but these are not great teams that that Missouri's played, and they've just really struggled to score. I mean, even against Abilene Christian, they only scored 34 points. I mean, that's just not good enough. So um, I like Georgia in this game big. I like them to cover the 4 touchdown line. I hardly ever say that, but I am, going into this thing. Make sure you're picking up Dawgstruction today. I just got a new shipment of books. I turn these around quick. If you want me to sign them and personalize them for you or whoever you're getting them for the holidays, let me know. 80 plus pages of this one of a kind book. Pick it up today. But I just don't, and the link is down below. I just don't see. We've already seen Georgia with a turnover game. Missouri is not great getting turnovers. They have a negative turnover margin. But just if you just go watch them play, they're just not. You know, this this game, like the South Carolina game, and to some degree the Oregon game, this game's going to be as much about Georgia as it is anything else. Um, the Dogs. There are some things to clean up for sure, and I don't know if they're going to get AD Mitchell back. It looks like they probably won't. We don't know totally yet. Looks more like Arian Smith's going to come back. Looks like Jalen Carter is going to be back. Excuse me. So this, you're starting to get back a couple of players who kind of matter. Kenny McIntosh, I think there was some discussion about Kenny being banged up, but he was fine after the game on Saturday. So I think Georgia, you'd like to see um, certain things get better. I think the number one thing to me is a red zone scoring touchdowns. Um, when you look at Georgia across their peers in college football, they actually are pretty good at scoring in the red zone. I don't know that they score as many touchdowns as they would like, although they are 14th best in the country in red zone efficiency. So in terms of scoring, there's things to work on. I mean, they're the number 4 defense in the country and the number 4 offense in the country in terms of total offense. They're the number 11 total defense. So the thing that you really would like to be the best at, um, I would say is scoring defense. They're number 4 in the country at that. They're number in scoring offense, they're number 17, which is getting back to the touchdowns thing. Still, they are only allowing 8 points a game, and they're scoring 42. It would not surprise me if Georgia did not allow a point from Missouri. I just have watched them, y'all. They're not scary. There's just nothing there that makes it that the Dogs should have real trouble um, in this game. I mean, there's just nothing that's saying, "Oh, there's a problem here." No, there's not. Go watch Missouri and then watch Georgia. I mean, they're not in the same universe. Now, there are some other things to keep track of. Number one, How does Georgia look? That they have a really, you know, lopsided. All of Georgia's games have been lopsided this year. Yes, even the Kent State game, they won by 17 points. So, how does Georgia look? That's really the question. How do they look when they play? We're this is not going to be the tough stretch. You're talking about Missouri, Auburn, and Vanderbilt, and honestly, Florida too. These are these are these are not great teams. Okay, Tennessee looms over the horizon. We don't. I mean, Kentucky. I think Tennessee might be better than Kentucky, but neither of them are teams that should be within two touchdowns or 10 points of Georgia at the end of the day. So how does Georgia play coming into um, this October stretch where you know you can get out to a five love SEC start to the season, and if you do that, then all the pressure's on Tennessee and Kentucky to win not just to win against Alabama, but Tennessee's got LSU in a couple of weeks. They have to play one another. I mean, so you know Kentucky's got Mississippi State, they've got the Rebels, they've got Tennessee. I don't see them losing to Missouri or Vanderbilt. That's just me. But Georgia coming into this thing, you want to see efficiency. You want to see them scoring the way that they should be, not goofing around. You want to see crispness in every aspect of the game. There were a lot of things to like about the Kent State game, frankly. The one thing that no one should like what were the turnovers. I mean, that probably cost Georgia in margin of win probably 20 points. You know, that's what I would imagine because they didn't punt. So every time they had the ball, of the three times that they turned it over, they probably would have scored at least a field goal. I mean, let's just say they didn't. That would be 6 points, and that you take away all three turnovers. Kent State scored 10 direct points off turnovers. There's 16 points right there. That's if they don't score touchdowns. So I think to me, when you're going to watch, we'll be out there in Middle Earth to watch this game, and we appreciate all the support. The number one way to support us is by getting DAWGSTRUCTION today. The link is down below. If you want me to personalize it, please tell me immediately after you order the book because I get the books out quick. So to me, I think what you're watching for are A, no injuries, B, crispness of the offensive side of the ball. I think the defense has played well this season, just period. I mean, it's hard to really criticize a defense that's, I think, allowed 2 touchdowns total. Or three touchdowns. Is that right? Three, yeah. So only Illinois, Alabama, and Iowa have permitted more touchdowns than Georgia. That's it. And those teams have not played Oregon, for lack of better. I mean, Oregon's scoring a lot of points, y'all, and Georgia completely stopped them. So it's Oregon is ranked. Uh-oh, I did that wrong. Let me see here. With the points that Oregon has put up lately, it's pretty amazing that Georgia, they're the 25th ranked team in the country in terms of scoring. Oregon is scoring 40 points a game. They scored three on Georgia. Did I say 40? Yeah, 40 points a game. They scored three on Georgia. That number, if you take away the Georgia game, every other game that Oregon's played that's not been Georgia, here's their results. Okay, this is how well Georgia's defense has played. They have scored 70, 41, and 44, y'all. 70, 41, and 44. That is crazy. That is 52 points a game. Had they not played the Dogs, they would have the number one offense in the country. So in terms of scoring, so I think that shows how good Georgia's defense is. And at that's probably as good as the offense has been. That's probably the missing piece that we're kind of staying away from is this Georgia defense is legit. Forget the Georgia offense. The Georgia defense is legit. I expect a total bloodbath in Missouri. We'll see you after the game, Paloma Park, Friday of Auburn, 4 o'clock. We'll see you there.